What do you think is going to be the reaction of Donald Trump if he soon moves into leading the country? Will he unwind all of this?
Well, I think what you saw today is a move that needs to be taken seriously. It's sort of unprecedented, and an executive order was revised to include deterrence against anybody messing with any of our election infrastructure. That's now included in the executive order. So if any individual in the future is to take any sort of cyber action that affects the election in any way, whether that's the leaking of emails or attacks on election systems themselves, that is now part of U.S. policy and in President Obama's executive order that we will retaliate with sanctions. Now, it remains to be seen how Donald Trump will react. I mean, to say that computers complicate our lives doesn't really seem like a policy response. The reality is cybersecurity is one of the foremost threats the United States faces in terms of cyber attacks on our infrastructure, cyber attacks in terms of economic espionage on private companies, on our facilities like the Pentagon, on our nuclear facilities potentially. This is a serious issue. So to just sort of brush it aside with the remarks last night doesn't really demonstrate a clear cyber policy. And I think it will be interesting to see what Donald Trump does in response to this Russian activity when he takes office. And also, the action taken by the Obama administration today is not just about Russia. Part of imposing sanctions, diplomatic or economic, in response to a problematic behavior, in this case, a cyber attack that impacted DNC servers and emails, is to deter future non-state actors, future state actors from doing this sort of activity again. So taking a position on this is key to prevent that, not just in terms of punishing Russia. And I think that, this might actually help the Trump administration because perhaps we'll see less non-state actors meddling in terms of hacking into email servers like this.
And Tara, just to take it global for us for a moment, because of course we've got French elections, German elections, Netherlands elections, to name but a few next year. And we know that potentially Russia acting within domestic politics is not just limited to the United States. There were reports coming from the UK press over the weekend that maybe the United Kingdom is exposed as well. How much do you think this is a global issue? Will other countries come in behind the United States?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see whether or not, particularly with the administration sanctions that went into effect today, if European countries will follow suit, and they will also designate those individuals and those entities and not, engage in financial transactions and trade and whatnot. So again, you might see Europe take action if they're the victim of the cyber attack. I'll be curious to see if Europe jumps on board with the United States on this. They may very well, because they are going to be future victims as well. So it's in everyone's best interest to make these multilateral and take a firm stand on this together.